All right, we're live. Thanks for checking out the VOD. I'll try to have this posted. I don't know. I'll try to have it posted tomorrow. We'll see. All right. So today is Wednesday. It is the Wednesday before the upcoming September 1st playtest. So I may just run around zone to zone a little bit. And then Friday, probably same deal. Hey Zukin, what's up? Gunnavolf, Classic EverQuest, Meeks, Cryptini. My friend Justin Beard, Chas Solo, Quiz, Gloomkin, Tiff, Redris, Qualinos, Viper 999, hello. Corvus, Join a Cult, Blue Queen, Xerinth. The eyebrow bandana bug definitely makes me think we need some bandanas, though. Did I have a good anniversary date? I did. Hey, thanks for asking. We went out for lunch. Chilled out, watched a movie. Whoever recommended, I think somebody on the team. I think somebody on the team maybe recommended 28 Years Later. And I would just like to say, whoever you are that recommended 28 Years Later, you are on the list of people who do not get to recommend movies anymore. As to say, Blue Knight, good morning. Sup, Amnesiac, Bill. The ending was awful, that is correct. Not to spoil it for anybody. The whole thing seemed just, it seemed like I don't know if Danny Boyle and what's his face, I don't know if they're just over it or what, but I don't know if they're like, we've had a good run, let's just goof off now. They had all of the makings of a good movie. They had a great set. They had good actors from what I could tell. They had everything they needed. And I don't know, maybe they started playing video games and it rotted their brains. It was very video gamey. It was, Q Stewart said so much promise, and then it just, I don't know. I heard from some people that they liked it, and I liked the people that liked it. So I don't want to say too much, but the first one was great. I think if I remember the second one correctly, second one was good as well. If I remember correctly, but maybe you guys will remind me of why that's wrong. 28 Days Later is great, Bill. I think 28 Weeks Later is good, I think. 28 Years Later is just... Maybe the story needed to cook another 28 days. I don't know what it needed. But I mean, the writer and the director are talented. Dark City is a good movie. It needed to end sooner. There's a trilogy planned. There's a trilogy of the last one. I don't know. Maybe the kids like it or something. Two more coming. I don't know why. Have a good meeting, Sarenth. What's up, Dragon? Bentali said, it's been a while. Really excited to get back into the world this weekend, see what's changed. Oh, there's definitely stuff. There's stuff that has changed. Yeah, Dark City was a fun old... That's... I got the feeling it probably holds up pretty well. How goes preparations for open playtests? What were favorite changes personally? I don't know how to start to answer the second question. It's a good question. I just don't know how to answer it necessarily. I'll think about that one. Preparations seem to be going well. I've got Slack open right here, just waiting to see what pops up, if anything, what news popping up. I'll be real honest with you guys. If I hadn't already committed to like streaming today and Friday because I bailed on Monday, I'd probably just be sitting off stream behind the scenes, maybe asking some questions on status of certain things. But bugs have been found. Bugs are being fixed. I'd say, you know, one thing going into this playtest, just because I'd like for these streams not to be like a bullshit sort of marketing endeavor and more just honest discussion with you guys. I'd say going into this week where we've got essentially Pencils Down happened Sunday, Monday-ish, right? Hey, Chex. What's up, Nomely fans? Sneers. Sariad. So we went into... Let me know if the music's too loud. Unless you're the one person on YouTube comments that will always say it's too loud, even if it's not. Oh, what was I going to say? Okay, yeah. I think one of the biggest sort of like bits of apprehension I have going into this week is that we are also just getting like a ton of stuff pushed to alpha. Like the internal alpha server. Asking the tough questions. Redorana says, are there toilet paper in this game? If not, how they wipe themselves? Sand. They wipe themselves with sand. So we've got a whole bunch. We've got a whole bunch that just went to alpha. And so the potential for us to find issues there, or unintentional changes, or just get feedback is pretty high because there's a lot of people that are staying on top of those things in alpha. And then our time to be able to react to that before, essentially before the first, is limited, right? So that can be a little scary, but we've got today, tomorrow. So let's just count today as like half a day. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 days. If there's anything too crazy that popped up, get it resolved, get it in a build, make sure that the build is good and stable, and have it ready for you guys on the 1st. You know what I mean? So what was your statement in the patch notes? There was a couple that were listed as level locked. Does that mean they're like the bone construct now? That was my impression. Good question. But I don't see what was above that. I guess that contained the question. I can't. I might be missing something. I can't think of any other encounters that are level locked outside of Bone Construct. Maybe something got changed or updated, but I can't think of anything. Hey, Marcy. Dad Big said, I thought you usually go a week to fix bugs and no new things before test. Well, that is the intent of this week. That's the intent of this week. That line has a tendency to get blurred, but the intent was pencils down and then a week of just fixing stuff. Sky Seer is now 25 and Guardian of Font is 40. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that. If that was listed in the patch notes, then I didn't see it, and I haven't heard anything to that on that, but let me ask a question about that, actually. JTH Womp, Selvin M and Easy Actual, thank you for the follows. Yeah, I've got affiliate turned off. I had it for a little bit, and then the realization hit that that like managing German tax law as it relates to any bit of income coming in the side just sounded like more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. I think I probably would have spent everything that came in. It would just go right back out to like a tax person here or something. Doesn't Twitch sort out tax beforehand based on location? I don't think that they remove tax. They may have to pay some taxes themselves, but that's not the issue. The issue is if you've got income, then you as an individual still have to declare all of that income. And in Germany, being like right now, I'm essentially unemployed. Right, like I've got no income coming in, just money going out, and so the potential for that to change my tax classification, which could potentially change my healthcare status and a bunch of other stuff. Like that, all of that was like, that seems like more trouble than it's worth. What's up, Dargith? Hey, Krakowski. Taventa, you might have been a sub here before, but it's been a pretty good while since I nuked all of that. Zara said, kind of like me on disability, any income I have to report and anything over 80 a month, they reduce my pay by 50 cents per dollar I make. If I make over a specific amount, they remove it from me. Yeah, I can see that. Hey, Pipes. Hey, Sparrow. What's up, Caution? I'm stoned. Are there items, are there plans for an item similar to J Boots? It's funny you say that. Gotta. There will probably be some sort of a item that gives you a move rate buff that resembles footwear. Oh, well, that one's just a macro that I made. Believe it or not, I actually prefer that one. Hey, Wickasloth. Hey, Candyman. Oh no, I fell. What's up, Tsunami-san, Doggeroni? When will fall damage be back? Dargith, I was just wondering that same thing as I fell. M. Woodruff, 35, thank you for the follow. Would be interesting if you took more damage if you're overweight when you fell. That would be interesting. Let's get fall damage working, period, and then we can get crazy with it. Galileo thermometer. Hello. What's up, Acadius? How have you been? Oh, I have zoned. Alright. I'm running out of oxygen. Okay. I think I'm going to swim around the coast and see if that works. So I may have to turn down. Turn down the ambience a bit. What are the fall damage issues? I don't remember. The last fall damage issues I remembered were issues with it randomly applying fall damage. I don't know the exact technical details of why that was happening. And fall damage, could have sworn there was fall damage like happening based on certain geo or whatever that maybe it was Navmesh. Certain geo was applying fall damage in weird ways. Thanks, Acadius. When was the last time I just chillaxed and played the game in a sweet group? Not in a while. The closest thing I've had to that was, I don't know, I think 2 weeks ago, chillaxing and like just playing my little Necro solo, which was nice. And I would play on stream because that's a good excuse, right? Just be like, I'm streaming, so I've got time when I play. But if I want to play on like the alpha server, where I've got a couple play characters, then I don't want to like reveal my character and then have you know, potentially dox oh, I think a few of these NPCs have debug green going on. Maybe. Potentially reveal like people on alpha that don't want to be revealed or whatever. Oh, hey, yeah, Zukin's in here. I was just making a mental note to go to the bends, but Zukin's already on it. Deviant said Redbeard Flynn did an Eminem video a long time ago. In the video, he jumped off one of the high points in Night Harbor and was like, oh, fall damage isn't in. Ran around the corner and died. I was for real, LMAO. Yeah, I had to laugh at that as well. It was during one of our early stress tests. It was very laggy. All my skills are high on this guy. Roger said the Cleric Necro duo stream you did with Nick was pretty good. Yeah, doing the old duo streams were a lot of fun. Crazy to see how much smoother things have gotten in such a short time, playtest wise. Yeah, it's been the work the guys have done has been really impressive. Thanks, Acadius. Coming from you, that is highly appreciated. Have you looked at race class starting stats? Not for this playtest. I believe that's on our list for next playtest to have that hammered out. I believe. I could double check. I'll double check right now. Want to be that way. Okay, it's not set for next playtest. I lied. It is on the list to be hammered out by EA. That gives us a little bit of buffer time. Am I crazy, or is the north, south, east, west orientation of Scarwood wrong? Looked like the sun was rising in the south. We can take a look at it in a minute. I'm hoping you're just crazy, but if not, then I mean, it's not going to be, it won't be too much work, but I'm hoping you're just crazy. Worried about the starting stats versus weight of items right now. I read the patch notes that armor was reduced in weight, but wow, it was a heavy last playtest. Yeah. Runaf slash Joseph has been looking at that stuff though. Runaf is our spreadsheet nerd, and I say that with nothing but love, because individuals that can sit and look at balance data over and over and refine it and dig through formulas and do that type of stuff are very, very rare and wonderful people to have on the team. So I have nothing but a huge amount of love and respect for Runaf. Special brain type, but it just so happens to be in a person that's just a really cool person. Very, very, very nice guy. Very cool. Hi, Rad. Thank you for the follow. Pipikalu says, first time managing to catch a live stream. Massive kudos to the team. Can't wait to play this game. My second home. Hey, appreciate it. Glad you were able to make it. I mean, you know, if you've seen the VODs, then you know what to expect. At some point, did we ever put an ocean floor in? Did we ever put an ocean? Because when I made like the initial rev of this zone a long time ago, am I about to freak myself out because there's no floor? I'm not a big ocean fan. Okay, there's a floor down there. How far does it go though? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We're just gonna go up now. We're gonna go up for real. Oh no, come on, let me go up faster. Let me go up faster. Oh, nightmare fuel. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, I mean, that's not to say we're not going to put like horrific stuff down there. Caveman Nation. Appreciate it. Fish chase you onto land for a while too. I'm curious to see if our fish, once they're in, chase you onto land as well. No, I have never played Subnautica. I've watched videos on Subnautica's development. I'm a fan of what they did early on, but I think that the team, the original creators, etc., they're not working on the new stuff, right? Anyway, Subnautica's cool. I'm not going to play it. I'm excited. Work is being done on Fallen Watch. And it's going to, I think, turn out to be a really cool zone for you guys. Seems like there are changes happening to market prices. Is there a team effort on economic rebalancing occurring among the team? There is effort going into, or sorry, there's data going in from various sources to Joseph, who's working on the rebalancing. He is our primary go-to when it comes to balance in general. But he's always talking with Nick and Ali and me behind the scenes on the stuff that he's working on. So he looks at everything from like economy and weight, so like pricing, weight, impact of stat values, itemization, various formulas that all of this stuff ties into. Looking at things like AC, pet AC, or like pets values, I guess would probably be a better way of saying it. A Loving Robot coffee mug merch? Probably not. Now, a long time ago, I thought, before we started the project, I was like, oh, you know, if I'm going to be streaming, maybe I need to have merch or whatever. That was fairly short-lived. But there will be plenty of M&M merch once we're ready to take money. Any plans to tie monks to weights? I don't know. It's the easiest way to say it. Hi, Red. Thank you for the follow 5 minutes ago if I didn't say it already. And I don't think I did. Is this with max swimming? Max swimming, and I'm not sure what the current buff I've got on for move rate, whether or not it's affecting swim rate as well, and whether or not there's a bug related to that. In a perfect world, how much notice do you think we'll get once EA date is locked? I'd say no less than a month. Ideally, a couple months. In a perfect world, yeah, I don't know. In a perfect world, at least a couple months. Hey, Mr. Cuttleshire. Can I please not drown? That would be cool. Alright. Sketchy. Are you telling me there was a limited run of Loving Robot merch out there? I think I've got a bunch of boxes in my little tiny office cubby that I've got. And I'm fairly certain I have like a t-shirt or something in here. Hey, Robert. Sneer said, I forget the name of his own EQ2. It's been a minute. It's a huge lake in the middle. I think there is a main hub for 30s. It was linked to common lands through the grifts. There's a tunnel under the island in the middle of the zone, and that tunnel underwater is a huge room. When I swam past, it has a huge eye in the entranceway. Never went back again. Ocean is nasty work. Yeah. That wet sand texture is super nice. I think in the past, I've heard varying feedback, with the main feedback just being that we can't push it too far up. Otherwise it starts to look weird. Glad you guys like it. I think maybe it was Bjorn that was just asking about it the other day. Yeah, it's funny when I first started the whole like stream thing before I met Nick and Ollie and Bunny, and before we started this whole thing and all of that, you know, I thought it would be fun, like, oh, you know, a Loving Robot merch and this and that, and like I look back on it, I'm like, I don't know. I guess if I would have actually made any effort to be a streamer or some shit, then maybe that makes sense, but but now I look back on it and I'm like, ugh. Nope. No thanks. It'd be cool it'll be cool once we've got the shop up, maybe to have like some NWC merch and stuff like that. Maybe some NWC hats. I bet you can already picture what they'd look like. But yeah. It's nice. It's nice that the team, you know, that the team more broadly has streamed throughout the process and is in Discord, and you guys have gotten to meet and get like sort of familiar with all the different people are contributing different things. I think one of the problems in the past, it's not to take away from anybody, but I do think like the, you know, the kind of phenomenon where the game is attributed to like one person. I always think that that was always pretty misplaced. And then hopefully you guys have seen with the development of this game that that's just, it's not the way it works. Right. So. Vador P99 says, howdy, cannot wait to get back into M&M. I've been leading a guild on P99 Blue for the last 5 years. Will there be any guild management tools in game? Yeah, I would have to, like, we've got the first little bit of, you know, the guild tool in here, right? And then as we're looking at like missing functionality or whatever, it can continue to be refined. Zukin said, I was told M&M was made by one dude. I think I read that as well, which continued to reaffirm my belief in Reddit's accuracy. You're going to get the map of Telokir tattooed on your forehead? Don't do that. If you got it tattooed on your ass, that would actually be kind of, you know, that would be funny. I would feel zero guilt if you got the map of Telokir tattooed on your ass. But on your forehead, Nick Hott said, I also heard there's dozens of former EverQuest developers on this game. That one too. Also, solid Reddit info. In gaming, auteur theory is definitely real. People love a face on things. They love Miyamoto, Kojima, etc. Yeah, I mean, I don't know those teams as well. It could be that, you know, that that makes more sense there, but even there, I would not imagine, like Kojima, I could maybe see it, but like I would never imagine Miyamoto being comfortable with that. I heard every developer on the team can breathe fire out of their behinds. That's how they protect their maps. We're in order to make sure our secrets never get out. No one person has all of the maps tattooed on their ass. So we've distributed the ass tattoos evenly across the team, and then trained everyone in the art of breathing fire out of their ass to make sure that no one gets too close to discovering our secrets. Hello, Jasmine. Hi, I'm just doing very serious work right now. Jasmine went to the garden because I couldn't make it up. I didn't have time, and decided to grab this giant bowl of our tomatoes from the garden.
We had a few casualties.
Few casualties? Yeah. Well, we haven't been up there in a few days. Oh, but that is a heavy bowl of tomatoes.
You want one?
No, thank you. It would not mix well with what I've been consuming. I just had a big thing of orange Mio Mio. I don't know that it would go good with tomato. We have, and I think we've got something, Sparrow. I think we've, if you need any spaghetti squash, let me know. I think we've got probably 10 or 15 decent sized spaghetti squash that we'll have to do something with. What we did with, oh man, my green screen's not having it. What changed? No, the rim light didn't. I think it's because I reached over and then that auto something. Let me fix it. There, it's fixed. Much better now. Configure video. Auto. There. I don't know. I think that fixed it. Now it's like bleeding light at the top. Maybe I need to invest in having something in this room that is not just like... There's nothing... I'm basically in a closet. Zukin said, OMG, I found a slum harlot in the bins, and she is a dwarf. I did not need to see that. What kind of game are we making? Jeez. Sparrow says, I had a huge spaghetti squash harvest last fall. I didn't grow any this year. Like, what do you do with it? Like, beyond just actually use it to eat spaghetti, I'm not sure what else to do with them. And we haven't figured out the art of canning yet. And, I think by maybe next year. By next year, we should figure that out. So. Oh, what I was going to say was we had a bunch of other squash and then we put them in a box out near the sidewalk and people took them. So that's good. Cook and freeze. I think we're going to do that with a few things. Mr. Slurm said, I can't wait till the play test. That's exciting. Seems like there's a decent number of you. We should probably have a good plan for additional servers, maybe. Let me go find... While I'm zoning, let me go find this thread from earlier for Nick. Where did that get posted? Was that... Nope, it's not there. We've had some interesting bugs pop up. This case, it was actually bug related. Related to beetles. So, playtest. Oh, there he is. He found it. Cool. All right. Sorry, I completely just stopped looking at chat so I could drop into the void. That was interesting. Let me go back there. Last playtest, I noticed quite a few newbie area mobs getting stuck under terrain. Is that something that was addressed already? That should be mostly addressed, yeah. We've got issues with mobs being stuck in other places. I believe we've squared away most of the ones that were newbie mobs stuck in the terrain. I've gone through the Elven area, so in Evershade, and pulled all of the spawn volumes out of the walls. And so that should prevent them from spawning out of bounds there, but I don't know if every large tree has had a blocker put in place. So there may be some stuck in trees. We'll have to look at that. Nope, Bill. There's not. Don't know if it's explained it already, but we're last place test progression wipe. Tavantha, no. We're trying not to wipe the playtest progression if we can help it. Saw some vids of wolves being out of the water attacking people on boats. Out in the water attacking people on boats. That seems feasible. Where are all the boat routes in game currently? I don't know if we've gotten the new boat routes in. There should be additional boat routes. Or at least Ollie wanted additional boat routes to get in for this test. But I don't know if they actually made it in. We've currently got a route that goes from Night Harbor to Keeper's Bite and back. It goes through Shallow Shoals. But we wanted to get some additional boat routes in. Some short turnaround boat routes. So like a Night Harbor to Shallow Shoals and back, a Keeper's Bite to Shallow Shoals and back, a Night Harbor to Keeper's Bite. One on the river. I don't know that they're all in. Will beta be a new set of progression, or will there be any open close test carry over there? So odds are it'll be a continuation. Will your open test characters be there? Or will the closed test testers be continued on their stuff? Yes. Unless there's some reason where we need to reset. So like if we look at it for like closed testing, if we need to reset in order to get more specific like data on how progression's actually going, or if there's big economic changes that we want to make sure that we're getting a clean like understanding of, etc., then that may force a reset. But I'm gonna cheat a little bit. They are. I think we're talking past each other, Redris. The characters that everyone is playing in the open playtest will very likely continue to progress as is from playtest to playtest from now until EA, where that will stop or potentially just be pushed into like a test environment. And for people that are in the closed testing, that's also likely to be the case, that we just allow it to progress. But in both cases, if we find that there's been some major change that we want clean data for, then that's when a wipe would occur. So, will there be closed testing for modules? We haven't discussed the air quotes live test environment in much detail, but I would assume that there will be testing of some sort, whether that is closed testing or just testing that is done as part of like a test server, where we have a persistent test server community and it's pushed there. We haven't discussed yet, so. But that's the kind of thing we have to discuss pretty soon, because it's all getting closer. So there's definitely live operations stuff like this that's being discussed and still needs to get discussed and locked down. But one of the good things about these one of the good things about these playtests, the open playtest, is that it helps us figure some stuff out that we'll utilize in for live operations, and it also forces us to figure out some other stuff. Levy break? No, there aren't. Will our characters keep trait combos that are no longer possible with the update? If we've invalidated certain combos and we haven't addressed that on the character, on the various characters by removing or whatever, then I think that would be the case. But I also haven't seen anything announced where we've gone through and wiped that. It's very possible, and it's very possible it was announced and I just didn't see it. Hardiness is deep dwarf now too. Yeah, I think Zillith was asking whether or not that was correct, like earlier this week. So keep in mind that as we're making adjustments to things, it's very possible that we make adjustments to them again. Just reading. I'm reading the next patch, the next set of patch notes as they go up at the moment. Oh, interesting. I zoned back into Vale. Are your next patch notes coming out soon? Have you seen the most recent one, Sparrow? We just posted a massive update. Are there plans for a barbershop / item or a command similar to the old face? Barbershop, maybe? Like some sort of functionality of that sort we've discussed. Face has come up before in the context of if we add new faces, it's probably fair, right? Sparrow, we've posted patch... There we go. Patch notes independent of the update. I mean, that's a horrifying place to zone into if you swam over. Wish there was an easier way to pop this out. So yeah, if you click the link above, you'll get to this. Oh, the Reddit notes. You're right. There we go. I forgot Nick also posted them on Reddit. So as you can see, there's a ton here. Because even some of these that are just a bullet point, like added new herbs, that's more than one. Added new recipes, there's more than one. So. Hey, Arthax. Okay, so I'm here. I just zoned in. I think we need to, yeah, you can't see like, there's a lot of stuff going on with the facade and stuff here, and it's not rendering at this, either at this distance, or I think maybe it's just this distance. We have shark models. I don't know that we have any in game outside of maybe shallow shoals. Still think we probably got to do something different with that facade piece to make it render properly, and we need to move shallow shoals here out a bit, I think, so. Just writing some notes down. See you, Sneers. Have a good day. Next week's your first playtest, Dark Anubis. I hope you have fun. Hopefully it lives up to your expectations. Hey, Javastein. Dark Anubis, have you read the guide? There's a link right there. Have you read the quick start guide? See if I so that I don't die. So the guys have been working on updating the guide, so be sure to use the guide. Faradar, that's a name I haven't seen in a while. Faradar said, "Hey, thank you for creating a true MMO again." Well, the team appreciates your kind words. And you're very welcome. Oh. Hey, Chinny. What'd you miss? Not much. I just swam from Sungreed Strand over to here. Drazel says, looking forward to September 1st playtest. Will be the second testing session for me. Other one was a couple years ago, I think. Super early, laggy, buggy, and so much fun. Laggy, buggy, and so much fun. Hey, thanks. You guys are doing an excellent job. Thank you for resurrecting the EQ vibe. It's very kind of you to say, Drazel. We appreciate it. Glad you're here. Glad that you're getting another playtest in. If you had a lot of fun a couple years ago, then I don't know. I'm pretty certain you're gonna have fun this time around as well. I hope. Let's knock on wood. A whole lot less laggies there said. Well, I mean, you know, if we wind up with a ridiculous number of people showing up, no promises. You may run into some lag here and there. You still have real wood over there? No, not really. This is just as pressed as anywhere else. SarekMets22 says, I discovered Turtle WoW this past weekend, and all it's done is make me long for the EQ vibe to come back. Well, I can see that. I can understand. The very little bit of Turtle WoW I played was fun, but honestly, playing it just made me want to play M&M more. Hey, Lion's Den. I mean, that's the thing. It's, you know, it's probably not a bad sign if I play other stuff and the stuff is good, but then, but I still just want to come back and play Eminem. I kind of feel like Simon and Chinny nailed the beach angle, like the geo for this beach. I think it's a really good angle in height. It feels more wavy than a lot of our other geo where I think the angle is just too sharp and then it just kind of cuts off. Beach needs Crocs though. Oh, there's so many Crocs on so many other beaches. Okay, let's see if you're correct about the sun in Scarwood. We need to address that because if Robert sees it and it is wrong, then his brain may melt and we cannot lose Robert. We can't lose Robert to a, how about some land sharks? Oh, for sure. At some point, if I got time, I'm just gonna start grabbing models when Zukin's not looking and gluing wings to stuff, putting legs on things. Excuse me. Sharks on wheels. Gluing wheels on things. Join a cult. I'll let you know. We'll have a little jam session. Dude, bullets are cool. I like the old Let's find an old version though. This is a newer bullet. According to Tim Kask, they're pronounced boulet. I don't believe that. In America, we don't call our bullets boulets. No more propping streams? Oh, Chinny? Yeah, I was about to say. I'm trying to find a truly old school one. Here's a 5th edition one. Everything in fantasy must be cute. You can have no fantasy without it just being cute. There we go. That's the guy I was looking for. All right. Sun rising. Let's see if the zone is ass backwards or sideways or what. For the love of God, there is no sun in this zone. Oh my gosh. Lasava, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Nuke PBR says, I'm so happy playing this game, trying to make Brazilian players come to play like Tsunami. Really? Tsunami sounds Brazilian? Or is there a different? Sorry for my English, not my language, not my main language. No, never a need to apologize for that. Any reason why the subreddit doesn't have a profile picture icon? I just see a generic R icon. We're keeping it low key. We're hiding. We're hiding from Redditors. Mm-hmm. This is very, very smart. That's how we... Listen, you think we made it this far by being dummies? Don't answer that. As I run back out the zone, I hit the zone line again. Right before I realize that the sun is actually on the wrong trajectory in this zone. Okay. There's a sun there. I can tell because there's God rays coming this way. Fly. GM run. Any plans for HG ladies? I don't know what that is. HG ladies. Hill Giant. No. No plans for Hill Giant ladies. There's not a home and garden. Yeah, they're not a, you know, listen. There's not a lot of plans for female versions of all the things that you kill. Sometimes you will just like there'll probably be no harpy dudes. But the giants, like, these aren't their real homes. The hill giants, the hill giants are actually they're having, like, they have homes in other zones where they have like hill giant jobs and stuff like that. The hill giants that you're slaying are actually, they needed a break. They're away from home. They're out in the mountains. They're really not even hill giants. They're actually city giants. But they're in the hills for this period of time to just like, they're just out hunting. They're having a few beers. They needed a break. Okay, so I think we're unable to, unless I can I fly faster? Yeah. Can I? Okay. Whew. All right, so we're facing north. So yeah, the sun is rising in the south. Not a political statement, it's just a bug. I'll have to shoot Bjorn a message this very moment. Amnesiac, you were not crazy. My immersion is going to be completely broke if the sun's not in the exact right spot. We actually have stuff in data to help with that. Actually, I just shoot a message. Do you have an immersion coordinator position available? Not yet, but definitely keep your eyes out. You never know what kind of roles we'll post. Chat just pointed out that the sun rises in the south in Scarwood. I swear I thought we addressed this, or am I thinking of Keeper's Bite now? Zinfar. Yeah, I don't think he will, but that would be funny. Did that cover it? Encrypt? When is the hunk of meat being replaced with a gnome? Who's asking? Your significant other? How dare they call you a hunk of meat? If they're going to talk about you that way, I don't know that us gnomes are interested. We got your back. You guys think we're joking? I cannot wait until the gnome's ability to ride ogres goes into game. That will be, you ask what feature I'm waiting on, that is the only feature. No other feature matters. Performance doesn't matter. Stability doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is gnomes riding ogres. Darius said I was going to add that to Project Quorum, but now they can't do custom stuff. We retain our edge. Can we please have a boogery, snotty ogre face like the one in Classic EQ? That is a question for Zukin. What just got... Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter here. Maybe it depends. Zukin, you should start writing down stretch goals. Like, basically we should just post some stretch goals for the project. Like X number of subs. X number of subs for X amount of time will get you like snotty booger face ogre. We'll come up with a big list and we'll post it to the community. Have you started populating the sewer? The sewers have populations in them. I don't know. I don't think it's all populated or super final, but I know that they've done some work in there. Night Harbor Sewer is empty last playtest? There should be, yeah, there should be some stuff in there. Okay. So message has been sent to Bjorn. Keep doing that. All right, so now let's go to we go to Sungreed Strand and run through there over through Glass Flats to Veleb Centaur. Will there be an alchemist class like UQOA? No, but we've got alchemy as a trade skill. Sorry, I'm reading. How big do elementalist pets look at max level? That may be the deciding factor if I roll a gnome one or not. Love the look of EQ gnomes with a huge epic pet in classic. I haven't seen a max level pet that's in yet, but I do know we've talked in the past about the idea of having without committing Zook into anything, if bandwidth eventually allows, then it would be nice to do a bit more with some of the pets, especially either as they scale or as you find spells for pets of certain rarities, etc. Let me go check something. I saw notes about new wood tiers. Can these be used for arrows? If not, does this make arrow crafting even more tedious? I have no idea. Will you have a wear system that allows infection from a werewolf, werelion, werebear, etc.? You should keep an eye out for that sort of thing. Do you have VFX for a game you're working on? If I wanted to show them off in the Discord, could I do so? Yeah, that's what the community channel is for. What class are you planning to main at pre-release? All? Yeah, alright, so that's for everybody. What classes do you plan on maining at pre-release, or do you mean like when we go into early access? East 97, if you check our roadmap, or the deconstruction we put up, you may actually see a reference to that. Hey, speaking of Necros, I was just thinking of Necros. No one actually said it. What's up, Lich? Hello. Will Necros get a dead man floating equivalent? Unsure. Whenever we need drinking gulping sound effects, I will ask you to record these. You have a great gulping sound in your microphone with its plug-in settings are really picking up the throaty sound. I'm serious. Just normally? You can hear me swallowing normally, or do you mean when I drink water, Robert? Levitate is one of those spells that we definitely want to discuss a little bit. We've talked about it a bunch in the past, so there'll probably be some varying opinions from a few of us on how levs work and progress and everything. When I drink, is it weird? Is that weird?
What is weird?
Apparently, Robert just said that I have to. He's going to record me drinking on stream for the drinking sound in game. IGT phrasing. Phrasing IGT. Pause. Yeah, definitely. Do you hear that sound in the background? Yep, that's what happens to intruders. They go in the freezer. Sounded like someone just let rip a giant fart, Zinfar said. Darius, you've had a good run here. It'd be a shame to be banned. It's not every day that we ban somebody on this stream. But Darius will ban you. Also, who have you been talking to? Will the new character creation stuff be available with the client update prior to the playtest? Hopefully. How much prior? Like how long prior? I don't know. Derek's, I guess everyone needs hobbies, but still. Those patch notes got you reading a lot? Asian Candy thought I've just been drinking a lot of chocolate milk. Yaba asked, what's your opinion on Inquisitors? People say they seem like a meme spec, but for casters and raid bosses that cast, they'd be to go to tanks, it would seem. In Final Fantasy XIV, they had Dark Magic, which were good magic tanks. They also had to have some physical mitigation to do their job, which other than armor, I think Inquisitors lack. Right? I honestly don't know. We have to get Nick to do another stream where he can run through class stuff some more. I mean, my thoughts on Inquisitors when they were first like pitched was mainly aesthetic, with a little bit of like, wouldn't this be an interesting direction to go with them? Or an interesting direction to go. Like it made sense in terms of some of the carryover between Essentially, them being both a fighter and then having some of like the crowd control abilities, even if it's more variation, well, ideally more variation than just like direct copies over from the enchanter. It seemed like it would be a fun class to play around with. But that's about as far as I was involved. Are you guys happy with the new human models, animations, strafing animations, herbs? Herbstock asked. I've got the feeling we're still polishing. I'll be honest with you, I'm mainly playing a gnome. I'm happy with the gnome. Thanks, zombies. Snom has David Goggins stamina. I think he's more a Cam Haynes. Any new races making it into the next playtest? Nope. I don't think. In terms of player characters, I don't think you guys are going to see. I don't think you're going to see any new races until after we go into early access. You may see Deep Elves start to make an appearance in game. But you won't be able to create those as characters yet. See you, Dark Inside. The Goblin Camp spot you just ran through is great, by the way. Spent a lot of time there last playtest. Oh, right on. Cool. How much of it did you guys end up using? Roadmap made it seem like Deep Race is coming out post EA module. That's correct. The first module will have a couple. Let's go, Nico. Thank you for the follow. Oh, everyone I talked to on Quorum is stoked for the playtest. It's going to be interesting to see numbers on the EQ, MU servers once playtest starts. Yeah, that'll be... We're always curious. Every playtest we go into, we're always a little nervous, a little curious about what's going to happen. But that's kind of life, I guess. Nico said, hello, watched a bunch of VODs on YouTube. First time catching a live stream. Hey, thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Those of you guys that are new here, if you haven't, if you've just been watching VODs or maybe you came from somewhere else or whatever, let me see if I can get the stream deck to actually work. I think it's like I got to push every button 3 times. I wonder if I hit a setting that made that be the case. Anyway, here is a list of other folks on the team that stream. I don't know that it's all inclusive at this point, but it's got... All right, so it's got Nick, it's got Pattis, it's got Goblin, it's got Zukin, it's got ZBrushed. Am I missing any of our regular streamers? I think I might have asked Chinny in the past if I should add it or if he wanted to kind of keep it on the DL so that he had an option as to whether or not he was streaming M&M or like Fortnite. He mentioned his Fortnite time was very important to him, so I don't think I added it for that reason. But I'm always... Why are these guys this color? Okay, Chinny. I will add you. Hold on, I'll do it right now so I don't forget. Let me add you to the bot. Bigrin20 says, this November will be 5 years following. Crazy where you are now. It's weird, man. It is weird. Zukin, do you want to prettify this guy and have him blend in and be deadly, or what do you think? Big Grin, it's cool that you've been around that long. It was it's wild. It's wild. The game has definitely... The game is much bigger. Much more... Well, the game is just much more than I think we originally envisioned, especially on the art side. Like if you go to the Trello board we have where we have like the deconstruction of the whole game, I think we put that together pretty early. That was like in the first months, or at least in the first year, but I thought it was like in the first months we put something like that up. So in terms of like design and systems and things like that, you know, it's kind of on par with what we were picturing, but having different folks come on the team on the tech side has definitely allowed us to push deeper in certain areas and you know, 100% we wouldn't be where we're at without them. The art, on the other hand, I think we were kind of uncertain. And so it wasn't until we started actually getting art folks on the team, like, you know, that the first people we picked up were Zukin and Pattis and Goblin, right? Like early into that, like as we're going into year 2. And that really helped us start to kind of go down I think a really fun path that maybe we weren't picturing in terms of like scope and things like that. And definitely, you know, the art style wouldn't exist without those guys. But this is definitely not me dicking around in Blender in blue capsules running around anymore. It's turned out really well. It's been a... Oh, Zukin wanted to know the name of the snake. Zurian Viper. And then the beetles are over here. Yeah, it's like, yeah, sorry. I kind of paused because it's weird. It's a weird thing. We've been doing this for so long, and I'd like to think that the outcome is both kind of a surprise, but it's also very in line with the original goals. So, I don't know. It's really cool. And then the carrion beetle is the other one, Zukin. This is the one that Nick was just mentioning. So, and we'll continue to refine things and find stuff that we want to modify and blah, blah, blah. Thanks, Big Green. I'm very curious to see how many of the old crew wind up kind of like reappearing as we go into early access. Hopefully a lot of those year 1 people and the people that were around early on, like the expectation was never that people like show up every week for 5 years or whatever. But I really do hope a lot of those people show up, not just because they count towards our subscription revenue, but just because it'd be cool for them to... I hope a lot of them that were genuinely interested in the game have an opportunity to come back and like check it out and be amped on it and stuff. That'd be really cool. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was adding Chinny to the... Oh, there's a roadmap command? Really? Where's that go? To roadmaps. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Oh, here we go. Is that Chinny D's channel right there? What? That's cool looking.
Good enough, so I think...
Why don't I have something like that? Look at those production values. Do you guys see this? This is amazing. You should see the insanity that I made. That makes me nervous when you say it that way. Chinny is just cooler than you. I thought this was hardly understood. Yeah, it's understood, but I didn't know he was that much cooler. Dargus. There's degrees. Don't have to make me feel bad about it. Jeez. There we go. Added. God, I'm not gonna add you yet because now you've got me nervous. Hey Liz Biscuits, what's going on? Haven't seen Pattis forever. Did I just not somehow follow him? He hasn't been streaming. He's been working a lot behind the scenes. His day job over the last year has really picked up. And so he's been doing a lot of his IRL, but then also working hard on a new dungeon for us. So yeah, nope, you're not crazy. I'm looking forward to this weekend. Would say that you missed a great opportunity of doing it this week while I was off like mini Brits because of the bank holiday. Oh man. Yeah, Chaz Solo, he's doing well. Speaking of streamers, are any of our people streaming today? Soon-ish? Zach, how soon? Yeah, if you don't mind. Jasmine has the week off. So she's German and works for a German clinic in Germany, which means she gets vacation days that she has to burn. So she's on vacation this week. Excuse me. So it's 10 p.m. now, but yeah, what's vacation exactly? Spoken like a true American. Mr. Storms, are you American? I've been trying to explain that to her. Yeah. So, but while she's on vacation, it's nice to be able to see her, hang out with her a little bit. So I skipped on Monday because it was our anniversary, and so we just hung out, and yeah. Liz said I get 222 vacation hours a year. When I was at Sony Online, I think my vacation capped at 440 hours or 450 hours. And I stayed pretty capped. But it was cool because I accrued them really fast as well. It was cool because when I got laid off, I was able to cash all that out. So it said going on vacation in northern Michigan tomorrow till Monday. Nice little break. Come back 7 days of glorious testing. This sounds like you've got. That is a nice configuration there. All right, so I tell you what, guys. Once Zach gets all fired up and ready to go, then we're gonna raid him, and I'm gonna go check in on Jasmine and see what she's up to. For her vacation so far, we had our anniversary. She decided she wanted to make like a wooden, a pretty wooden crate cover for our dog. So now our dog, as of today, has a nice wooden framed in dog crate that his crate sits in. So yeah, that's super cool. Zach is live. Awesome. Going to play the game next week? Probably doing a lot of customer service next week, to be honest with you. At least during Euro hours. So. Yep, I saw that. So I tell you what, guys, rather than continue to prattle on about my stuff like that, did I have any involvement with EQOA while at SOE? I did not. But I knew I had worked with the EQOA guys, the ones that moved from EQ to EQOA. If you check out I did some VODs with some of those guys. So like if you look at Jeremy Ellis, Michelle Butler, Jake Soanes, Harvey might have been over there. So anyways, I did like a bunch of interviews several years ago with a lot of those folks from EQ, EQOA, and things like that. So So you can check them out there if you want to, if you want to. Each one's a few hours, like couple to a few hours. So definitely check them out. All right, guys. With Zach on, I know it's only been a couple hours, but with Zach on, I'm gonna get ready to raid him. Please stick around, and he'll do art. It'll be pretty. They've been doing some really nice stuff over there on the art side. If you've seen the faces and things like that. Then you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys have a good night. I won't do the usual thing where I say good night to everybody because we're going to raid, but I will definitely try to do that on Friday then. But thanks everybody for being here and popping in. Thank you, Liz. I will 100% give her a hug for you. Thanks all of you. I feel bad that I'm not saying goodnight to all of you, but let's get this raid going. They told me he just started. Why wouldn't they just put it at the top of my list? There he is. Let's start the raid. All right. Looks like we're good to go. And we're going to raid now, and then I will see you guys on Friday. Everybody take care. Be safe out there. And it is only a couple days away. So.
I was gonna start streaming and then I